What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon. NBA DFS video. We have an 8-game main slate for Tuesday, November 12th. So hopefully you guys are doing well. Hopefully you did well, whether or not you played NBA last night, whether or not you played the showdown for NFL, or whether or not you sports bet. Would love to hear some of your successes. If you are new to the channel, we do have a giveaway, 2 giveaways every single day. First one, like the video, be a subscriber, and leave a comment. If you leave a comment and this video gets at least 50 likes, you have a chance to win a free week of FTA+. That is a week of every sport. So current sports now, we have NBA, NFL, PGA, and MMA. If the video gets at least 100 likes, you have a chance at a free month. 150 likes, a chance at a $200 free year. 200 or more likes on the video, a chance at a lifetime pass. The second way to win, so you can win twice every single day. Somewhere in this video, I will say a keyword. Listen for that keyword, type it in there, and that is it. Comment picker can pick one or both of your comments up. So, yesterday's video ended up getting 55 likes. I didn't know if we'd get it, but we did. 600 views, 27 comments, 55 likes. So we are going to roll this. The first one is just for 50 likes. Even if the keyword is in this comment, we're still going to re-roll it. So Sergeant Saint, congratulations. You did have the key phrase, which is Veterans Day, but we're still going to re-roll it. So the more people that comment, the more chances they have to win. Do not spam the comment section, though. So congratulations, Sergeant. I know you have an account on the site. Just email me and let me know you saw this, and then tell me your username on the site. Now we're going to re-roll it, and this could be the winner again. We will definitely just see. Hopefully it's someone new, too, but we will see. So, Steven, congratulations. You are the winner for the keyword. So all you got to do is let me know. Let me know that you saw this, and then email me. And I did want to shout out some of you guys on here. So the app updated, and you can see like the community. So Steven, congratulations. You are the top. You're tied for first with a few people for leaving 100 plus comments on our videos. So they've highlighted your name as one of the top fans of our page. CNO Forever, you are also one, 100 plus comments on there. The King Raheem, 100 plus. And Cujo Blue, 100 plus. You are the community spotlight for the channel, which is awesome, guys. So if you saw this, let me know you saw this. Big thank you guys for supporting the channel for many years now that I know you guys have. So congratulations to both of you. What we're going to do is, if you are new to the channel, anytime there's at least 5 games, we're going to give you the 3 top, 3 mid, and 3 value picks at each position with some projections and some of their DVP. So defense versus position. So if they're in a good spot, that's what we will do. After that, towards the end of the video, we will build one lineup for FanDuel, one lineup for DraftKings. So if you go to the NBA tab, there's a ton of information down here to help you out, from simulations to projections. These are early projections. They will and can change throughout the day. So check the website about 2 hours before tip-off. And as always, Outlier.bet is the sponsor of this video and everything we do here on YouTube. So if you want to check them out, the link is down below, along with the link to our free Discord. So get in there, check them out. A 7-day free trial if you use our link. And we will have a giveaway if you guys sign up after the 7 days. So that being said, there's a lot of people already ruled out. There's some questionable guys too. Like there's a lot of value is going to open up today. Doncic, like Luka's, he's good to go. So again, looking at this, like Barnes is out, Maxi's out, Lillard's out, Young is out. Like everybody, a lot of things have happened. So these are early projections, and they most likely will change in the near future. So looking at the top of the list for point guard for this slate, Luka at the top at 53 to 56 fantasy points. Got him 18th DVP against the position. LaMelo Ball between 46 to 50 fantasy point range with a 27th DVP. And then Cade Cunningham, 43 fantasy points, about 43 to 46 with the 14th DVP in that situation. Mid-tier picks, if he plays, Emmanuel Quickly, 35 fantasy points. I want to see if he's going to, if there's any update on him. Questionable for Tuesday. Sprained his elbow, hasn't played. I mean, yeah. Yeah, Davion Mitchell or Jamal Sheed would be an increased role. So currently, I'm projecting quickly at 35 fantasy points. If that changes, we will get the value at the other position. He's got 29 DVP. So a value pick here for Davion Mitchell would be 29 DVP as well, which would be amazing at his price. Next to that is Jalen Suggs, 35 to 36 fantasy point range, 22nd DVP. And then Derek White for Boston, 35 fantasy point range with 26th DVP there. Then some value at this position that we are kind of looking for. Another Boston person versus Atlanta. Peyton Pritchard, 25 to 28 fantasy points with 26 DVP. Drew Holiday, 25 to 28 fantasy point range. We're looking at 26 DVP as well. And then another value pick, if he's in there, questionable tag now, but Trey Mann going up against Orlando, about 23 to 26 fantasy point range. He's got 27th DVP there as well. Now, like I said, there will be some value that open up throughout the day. A lot of questionable guys. Once they are in or out, we will update everything on the site. Moving to shooting guard, we got Ant-Man here. We got him about 44 to 48 fantasy point range. Wouldn't be surprised if he hits 50 if he gets the opportunity. Going up against Portland, he's got the 30th. He's got the best DVP that he could face in this matchup. I absolutely love him. Probably, at the moment, probably going to be one of my core plays. One of my favorite plays of the entire day is Anthony Edwards here in this position, especially under 9K. I like that. We've got Devin Booker right around 42 fantasy point range. And then Kyrie, right around 40 fantasy points for Kyrie as well. Mid-tier for this, we've got Grady Dick at 30 fantasy points, 18 DVP, so kind of in the middle. We've got Jaden Ivey, about 30 fantasy points, 14th DVP. And then Dyson Daniels for Atlanta. Should get a little bit of boost now that Trae Young is ruled out. Dyson Daniels there, 28 to 32 fantasy points, 19th DVP. And then some early value. It will change. We got Davion Mitchell. Like I said, I like Davion Mitchell here. We're looking at him. About 25 fantasy points now, but I could see this definitely bumping up a lot. 29 DVP for him. Klay Thompson against his former team. Maybe it's a revenge game if you want to go with that factor. Looking at that, we're looking at about 25 fantasy points out of him. And in this match, about 13 DVP for Klay. And then Shaedon Sharpe right around 20 fantasy points. It is a lower end here at 4th DVP against Minnesota, so this is definitely something I kind of want to pay attention to. But Shaedon Sharpe right around 20 to 23 fantasy points if given the minutes that I think he could get if they give it to him. Moving to small forward, you got Jason Tatum, who does have the questionable tag. He rolled his ankle on what could have been a flagrant one on Giannis during Sunday's win. So we're kind of see. Now, if Jason Tatum is out or limited, that will bump up Peyton Pritchard, that will bump up Sam Hauser, that will bump up Derek White. Like, it will bump up a ton of people for Boston. He is expensive, and if he's got a bum ankle, I'm a little bit weary about using him. Early projections have him right around 50 fantasy points, and Atlanta's DVP against him, 21st. So it's a great matchup for him. I got RJ Barrett at 40 to 45 fantasy point range, 18th DVP, and then Paul George, 40-ish fantasy points, depending on what his minutes look like, 11th DVP. So not the best matchup for him, but it is still Paul George. Looking at some mid-tier picks here, Kelly Oubre Jr. right around 33 fantasy points. New York, though, they are ranked 2nd DVP, so it might be a little bit harder for him. We got Michael Bridges at 28 fantasy points, about 28 to 32 range, 7 DVP, so we'll kind of wait on that. And then OG Anunoby at 28 fantasy points, going up against Philly, 13th DVP, so almost right in the middle. And then some value here for small forward. Depending on where we're at, and we'll see, but we've got Royce O'Neal right around 24 to 26 fantasy points. Utah's 7th DVP. Jaime Jaquez Jr., 23 to 26 fantasy points. Detroit is dead last against them, ranked 30th DVP. And then if they're in there, or if he's in there, Najee Marshall for Dallas, if he gets some run, 20 to 24 fantasy points. Golden State is ranked 29th against the position. Now I want to see what Najee's minutes and output is look like. I mean, 36 minutes his last game, 25 fantasy points. Obviously, you're looking for at least like 1 to 1.1 fantasy point per minute. He did not get that in a very close game, but still played 36 minutes. Against Phoenix, 29 minutes. It's been a couple of games since he's had a huge game. He was 3,700, put up over 10 times value. Najee, I don't mind him here. Obviously, I would love him a little bit more if Luka was actually out, so he's not. But Najee Marshall at 4,600 allows us to go in kind of different directions here if we're trying to pay up at other positions. Moving to power forward, you got Giannis as a questionable tag. I think he's going to be questionable every day, but he's probable. Even with that questionable tag, he played 39 minutes against Boston, put up 72.25, 13 rebounds, 43 points. I mean, just balled out there. Very expensive, but if we could find the value plays and get Giannis and Anthony Edwards in there, I don't mind that. Another one we're looking at is Jalen Johnson for Atlanta. 42 fantasy points there, 26 DVP. And then we've got Franz Wagner, 38 to 42 fantasy points going up against Charlotte, 22nd DVP against them. Mid-tier here, we've got Tobias Harris against Miami, right around 30 fantasy point range, 19th DVP. We got Bobby Portis, who's both power forward and center eligible, depending on where you want to go. We've got him also at 30 fantasy points, 20th DVP right there, so I like that. And then Jeremy Grant, 29 to 32 range, going up against Minnesota. They rank 28th against the power forward. I will take Jeremy Grant as a $6,100 option if you don't want to pay up at the other positions. And then value, not a ton. We are looking. We've got Jonathan Kuminga, right around 25 to 28 fantasy points, going up against Dallas, but that is 10th DVP there. PJ Washington is questionable. See if it's been any updates. He's doubtful. Okay, so PJ Washington's out. So then we'll go down to Naz Reid, 25 to 27 fantasy points. Going up against Portland, they rank 15th DVP against them. And then Grant Williams for Charlotte, 22 to 25 fantasy point range. Going up against Dallas, or going up against Orlando, 9th DVP. So not the best, but Grant Williams is under 5K if you are trying to build one of those boomer bust lineups. Then we move to the center position. Joel Embiid making his debut. I don't know if he's on any restriction. 22 boo. Yeah, strict minute limit during his debut, which kind of sucks. He's still a high usage player, but he's 10,400, has not played this year yet. I've got him early projections right around 52 to 55. If he only goes out there for like half the game, that's probably not going to get those fantasy points. But if he gets 25 minutes in this game, he could have a good game here. But his price still scares me. I might fade him just to kind of see where we're at minutes-wise. But maybe you don't want to fade him. I understand that. We got Karl Anthony Towns, a double-double machine pretty much every single night going up against Philly. 43 to 45 fantasy points, 19th DVP. Bam Adebayo, 38 to 42 going up against Detroit, 11th DVP there. Mid-tier picks for center. We got DeAndre Ayton, who's been pretty good for us for double-doubles. We got him at 30 to 34 fantasy point range, 27th DVP. Jalen Duren going up against Miami, 29 to 32 range, 22nd DVP. And if we look at Jalen Duren, he is questionable. He's missed 2 games with a tweaked ankle, so this is kind of one we're looking at. I don't know if he's going to be in there. 6,100 with an ankle injury, probably going to fade him. So I'll go down to Walker Kessler, 28 to 32 range. Phoenix has a 24th DVP there. Then Yusuf Nurkic, and he's also got the questionable tag, which would open up value for Phoenix if he's out. Played 15 minutes and hurt his ankle, so I would assume he's going to be out. So we'll go down to Draymond Green, 25 to 28 fantasy points. He's 5,500, going up against Dallas, and the 10th DVP scares me a little bit. Probably going to fade that as well. I don't usually like to pay down at center unless huge value opens up throughout the day. Haven't seen that yet, but maybe it will. And then value, we could look at Brook Lopez, 5,500, going up against Toronto. They rank 29th DVP, about 25 to 30 range for him. Daniel Gafford, 25 to 28 fantasy points, going up against Golden State, 9th DVP, not the best. Then we got Mo Wagner, 4,600, going up against Charlotte, about 21 to 24 range, 13th DVP, so not the best, but not the worst DVP either. So there you have it. Those are some of the projections, some top, mid, and value. Again, so many guys are already questionable. Some have already been ruled out. Some were waiting on news. This is where value will open up through the day. I would say about 3 p.m. Central. Check back to our simulations, check back to our projections, and see where we're at. Because should get the most news that we need, the majority of the news anyway. So there you have it. That is where we're at for the simulations and the early projections. If you want to see even more, you want to see a cheat sheet, you want to see everything under NBA, we got Vegas odds, we got Vegas bets, we got fantasy points allowed by position, which teams rank dead last against the position, could help you out building or DFS or sports betting. We also have FanDuel and DraftKings simulations and FanDuel and DraftKings projections, along with a cheat sheet with some optimal lineups that we build using our information. So what I want to do, I'm going to build one DraftKings and one FanDuel lineup. These are very early lineups. We're still waiting on a ton of news, and we can kind of see some of these will change. Like yesterday, we had Fred VanVleet in our lineups, and then he ended up being hurt and out, so we had to adjust those lineups that we built. But we are going to see if we can find any of these that we possibly can. I'm just going to fade Joel Embiid on this one because I'm scared about his usage this first game back. So, one we didn't talk about, but we've used him a ton, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 3,500, 30th DVP, playing 25 to, like, his minutes are there, the price is there, he's hit the value the last 2 games. I love this matchup for him, a hugely underrated guy that I think we got to get exposure to. Another one we got to get exposure to, Ant-Man. I told you I wanted him in my lineup. I'm going to get him in my lineup. Wiggins is questionable. Yeah, so this is one to monitor. Coming off 35 minutes on the 10th against OKC, 44.5 fantasy points. He's under 5,500. If he plays, I like this for his minutes. We will definitely watch this. I think, like we tried, I think we can get Giannis in there. I think we can get Anthony Edwards in there. And then we go to center position. I'm fading Embiid. Bonchero's obviously out. Adebayo, I'm out on. Karl Anthony Towns, I'm okay with. Now we're at 4,100, so we have to find some value. There's going to be a ton of value in Boston if Jason Tatum is in fact out. But he healed a cheaper option, 5,600. Hasn't really done much the past 2 games. Going up against Dallas, I don't mind Buddy Hield here. A little bit scared. But his DVP is 11, so it's not the worst. But this one might be one of those where I change this up if bigger value opens up throughout the day. Then we're looking at the forward position. Now, this one obviously is hugely contingent on if Jason Tatum is in or out. We got Sam Hauser, game logs, the minutes. So usually he was over 20 minutes. He had 35-1, but then he only played 12 against Milwaukee. That's the only thing that's kind of scares me. If he can get in there and Tatum is out, I love that matchup for him. But now our utility, this is where it gets a little bit iffy. So I don't know. You know what? Let's take Towns out. And we'll do 6,000 for a center, which I don't mind. We can look at Brook Lopez. With Brook being here, even with Giannis being in, really hasn't done anything. Daniel Gafford against Golden State. He's playing 30-plus minutes. I mean, he's coming off a really good game. He's 5,200. Gafford here for center. And then looking at his DVP, he's 9th DVP, so not the best DVP. Trying to see if he's played Golden State this year. Has not played Golden State this year. Averaging on away games, he's averaging 24 minutes a game. 5 for 8 free throws made if attempted. 27.9 fantasy points at 5,200. I am okay with Daniel Gafford. And now our utility is 6,800, which opens up a lot of possibilities. Josh Hart, Andre Drummond you could look at. Drummond, though, with Embiid back, I don't know what we're going to see. That's the problem. So he's probably not going to be a starter, and he's still, don't get screwed over. He's got starter minutes and starter salary, not a starter. So you could look at Brandon Miller. Game log wise, I mean, he's had a couple of really good games. The minutes have been there. So if we look at Brandon Miller, DVP wise, 3rd DVP, not the best. And he's going up against Orlando, which he has not played this year, when he's on the road. He's averaging less minutes per game too. That's definitely, I don't know how much that plays into it. That's definitely something. You got John Collins against Phoenix. Game logs coming off 36 fantasy points in 29 minutes. The minutes have been there. Had a down game. If we look at John Collins and his DVP here, 6 DVP. That sucks too. So, yeah, it really just depends. DeAndre Ayton, double-double machine for us lately, except the past 2 games where he's been terrible. Splits-wise, played Minnesota once this game, 17.5 fantasy points, or minutes per game, 17.5, and did not do well against them, had 13 fantasy points 2 games ago. So that one does stink. I'm not going to lie. So we're at 6,800. Bobby Portis, I don't mind. Even with Giannis back, I'll put Bobby Portis in there. This will probably be updated throughout the day, but that is our DraftKings lineup. I didn't want to have this drag out way too long because a lot of people don't like to watch these if they're too long. And then we build a FanDuel lineup. Depending on where we're at, depending on where we can go, I've got to get rid of Drummond. Is expensive as well. He's only 5,000. He's still not a starter. I don't trust him. I don't trust Embiid either. I don't like what we're going to see out of them, and I just don't want to even consider them. So, one we did talk about was Jalen Suggs. I do like Jalen Suggs here. Davion Mitchell could open up some value here at 4,200, which I would like. Agbaji here as well. Paul George we talked about. And the keyword of the day is Bluey. Let me know if you guys watch Bluey. It's a very good show. I enjoy it very much. Kelly Oubre Jr. is another one I wanted to look at, and the values there. Just don't know what's going to happen. That's the only thing. Jacob Poeltl. Or no, they took the E out. Yeah, they took the E out for FanDuel, but not DraftKings. Make it make sense. We're looking at RJ Barrett. And then 2 power forwards. Kind of looking at 2 power forwards. We've got 7,600 to play with for power forwards. We talked a little bit about them. Franz Wagner, game log against Charlotte. 41, 46, 43. I like Franz Wagner. And then we're here anywhere between Josh Hart down. You got Anunoby, you got John Collins, you got Jeremy Grant. We talked about Jeremy Grant earlier. The minutes have been there for him. The price is okay. He's averaging 30 fantasy points a game at his price. A couple of down games, 25 and 19, 24, 34, 36. He's been kind of inconsistent, though. Going down, yeah, you could go other positions, like if you want to pay down. Okongwu, we didn't really talk about. Hasn't really done much. I didn't mean to add him. That's my bad. So it just depends. Josh Hart going up against Philly. Game log-wise, 42. I don't mind Josh Hart. So that's kind of a lineup I'm looking at. From Suggs down to Poeltl. If there's anything we need to talk about after, we will update it. We do core plays. We do a lot of things in the Discord, so make sure you check that out. Hopefully you guys had a great Monday. Hopefully you have, depending on when you watch this video, hopefully your Tuesday has been going well, and hopefully we're able to help you out. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, get those down below, or hit us up on X at @advisors_team, or our free Discord where we give out plays as well, and we try to answer questions as a community there. So that's what I've got. Hopefully you guys have success. Good luck tonight, and as always, let's bring home some bacon. Peace!